What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of UA Anime Club, the weekly podcast where we discuss the newest season of My Hero Academia as it comes out week to week. I'm your host, Seth, and joining me today, as always, is my co-hosts, Poyo and Micah. Say hi, you guys.
Hello.
Hey. Hey.
We just finished watching this episode. Alright, that's it. See you guys next week. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
I will say this episode's late because I had stuff to do on Saturday. So yeah. But it's here now.
It's here
We're
now.
here now.
And the moment we've all been waiting for actually, no, we've not been waiting for this. We were dreading it.
Well, what moment is that? I'm sure you know, but before
We'll find out.
Before we talk about that,
And if you don't know, go see the episode, go read the manga. Spoilers.
If you're watching this show, like, why are you not watching My Hero Academia?
For real.
Like, we haven't even started at the beginning. Like, it would be so weird not to, but
yeah, that's some beta male behavior.
yeah. Yeah, real soy boy activities.
But yeah, before we jump into this episode, we should give a little recap what happened last time. So, if you remember last time, which I didn't for some reason, it completely blanked out of my mind
Yeah.
until I was reminded. I guess that's what the recaps are for, huh? Mirko went down. She fought the Nomus. She kicked a couple of them's asses. She gripped one of their heads so hard with her thighs they died.
Yeah. She ripped the head off.
Kaminari X Juro is canon now, I guess. And Bakugo and Deku and all of them are evacuating the city. Yep. And I have an actually pretty interesting talking point, especially about Bakugo, because last week when the episode came out, there was not controversy, but
what is this about? Is this important? If it's not important,
I just want to hear your guys' take. It's not necessarily a controversy,
okay,
but it's
what's up?
It's a discussion.
If it's stupid,
I will let you be the judge of that after I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So last episode there was, as you remember, the scene where Deku and them were evacuating people from their houses. That does happen in the manga. Yeah. However, in this episode, it was sort of like redid to sort of shorten it. And in this version, obviously we see Bakugo. He's frustrated that he's on this evacuation team and not on the front lines. And he's kind of like pissed off and aggressive, typical Bakugo shenanigans. Yeah. Some people argue that him complaining about being on the evacuation team in this like Studio Bones version goes against the sort of development he's had through the last season.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. What happened in the manga?
So in the manga version, it's kind of the similar situation where he's not necessarily complaining that because like in the manga version, they're like escorting like people, like they're holding people's hands, like you see extra characters there, and he's just kind of like yelling at them like that way, but he's not complaining about being there.
Okay.
And people are kind of like throwing in this like, oh, it's kind of going back on his character. To me personally, I think it's pretty in line because Bakugo is smart, right? He knows that if we are in the biggest battle with the villains ever, I have a quirk that is literally make things explode. Wouldn't it be smart if I was fighting instead of doing evacuation?
I guess the idea is
I'm sorry.
I guess the idea is that like it's pretty easy to make Bakugo be like, "Rawr, I'm angry. Why am I not fighting?" Like I guess the contention is that like it's the emphasis on that rather than just him being like mad because he's mad anyways. Like he's fucking mad anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why people would say that because I've read the manga, so like I know, and like even in the show, like I know what his development's supposed to be, so like I get that.
Hmm.
Um, it's not like a huge deal. Like it's not
I
like
don't
a
care.
huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care too much. I didn't really think about that when I was watching it though.
Hmm.
That's the thing too. So
Hmm.
like I think unless it was something like super jarring to the point where I'm like, huh, like I wouldn't have known unless you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I get it, but like I feel like it's also it's I don't know why it's I don't know why specifically with My Hero fans like very tiny changes and not even just like let's not even talk about characterization, just like arrangement of certain things is like a point of contention with people. Like every
Hmm.
show does it. Every show does it when it
Yep.
gets adapted and like every when any manga adaptation that's going to happen, just because it's not one to one with the manga, like that's just
Yeah.
a part of adapting a story. I'm sorry, like it's not
Yeah.
them ruining the source material. That's just happens.
Besides, it's a uh promoting the manga anyway. That's what animes are meant really for. So like I don't know if the story's a little bit different, just like little bits, that's fine with me. I don't really care.
Yeah. I think it's a little silly to be all up in arms about the
To be
Yeah.
scene
like this
because
ruins his character, like it kind of
Yeah.
doesn't. Because let's be real, Bakugo right now is not the center, like the main. He's not center
no.
No.
important at this point, like this specific moment in the story, because we'll get into it later. But there's some stuff going on. But like he's not important right now. He'll be later. He'll be later, but not right now.
I would agree on this if Bakugo just I feel like it would be more like against the character development if he didn't if he complained about
Go
it
to
and
the
then
people
didn't
at
do it.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he still did it. So like, yeah,
And then the final, I guess, argument, the nail in the coffin for why this is his thing, it's a specific pronoun that Bakugo uses to describe himself, which I might pronounce this wrong, I don't know. Ore-sama, which is
Hmm.
like, it's kind of like a variation of I or me that
yeah,
comes across more as like narcissistic, but in my like opinion, I think they might have used that pronoun because it's sort of a comedic moment, so they wanted to
yeah.
play up.
It was a funny.
Yeah.
Um, does he usually use ore? I feel like
He uses
he does.
just ore, but he doesn't use ore-sama that much.
Oh, well, yeah, because Ode-sama is like,
Yeah.
doesn't Guzma use that? Like in Pokemon Sun and Moon? I feel
Yeah,
like I heard that.
it's a
Anyways,
very I'm badass. I'm
yeah,
kind of pronoun.
it's your
But
boy Guzma.
I think it's a little silly to be complaining about it. It's not a huge deal. I just wanted to know your guys' thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting, but like, it's not really important.
And I needed some levity this episode because oh boy, what we're going to talk about today
Yippee.
is it's the
Pull up that
definition.
synopsis.
It's the definition of yippee.
Yeah.
So episode starts where we left off with
Hmm. They're invading the base.
yeah, Kaminari is absorbing the electricity from the bad guy, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And then Edgeshot uses his power to turn into his string form, and he punctures all of these
Oh yeah,
Oh
that's right.
yeah, he
villains,
punctures them, and
and they
he's like, I put a tiny hole in your lung, so if you
Hmm.
move, you will die, but if you stay still, you'll be fine.
and then to make sure they all stay still, Midnight comes in with her quirk. It puts people to sleep, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
it's a sleep thingy.
Yeah.
It's like I was about to call it an aphrodisiac. Oh, that's not what it is. It's just yeah, it makes you go sleepy.
Yeah.
Makes you go honk shoe me me me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to think what went in order here.
That shit
I
happens,
think
and then
she does that, and then
Mushroom Girl comes in, puts a
oh yeah,
bunch of
okay. So
fucking
the class, like, was it 2B or
Yeah.
1B? Yeah. So
I guess
class 1B.
I guess technically they are 2B now because the
Yeah.
school year's over.
That's true. Yeah. So they're in the battlefield helping out. There's like Mudman, who was the guy who fought Ida in season 5 during the class fight, and then there's Mushroom
I
Girl,
forget her name.
and they're helping out. Yeah, they're doing their thing.
Her hero name is like She-Mage.
Yeah.
She-Mage.
So yeah, they're kind of like trapping villains and like stopping them with their powers.
Yeah,
and,
it's working out.
The raid continues. We cut to how can I forget the most important part of this episode? It's blocking out of my memory because we see Mr. Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
He
Hawks. So throughout this season, it's been, we basically know he's a double agent. Like, he's been infiltrating the Liberation Army to like get info to the heroes and stuff. And he's cornered our good friend Twice because Hawks was in on this the whole time. And Twice is just like, dude,
Twice is just he's sadly naive, so he kind of like he's just
confused.
Friends.
He's just like, why would you do this to me? I trusted you.
He was betrayed by Hawks, of course.
He's blaming himself. How we get some flashbacks to season 4 with him bringing in Overhaul into the group, and then Overhaul obviously killing off Miss Magne.
Yeah.
And severely injuring Mr. Compress. And he's kind of going like, "Oh God, I did this again. I let someone in, and they betrayed us. I'm horrible. This and that." And Hawks has got him pinned down with his feathers.
Yeah.
And then we see that he's Twice is obviously freaking out. And Hawks is like, "You know what, man? I know you're a good person. Let's just, come quietly. You can start over." And like saying that Twice pretty much is like, what? I trusted you.
You're a bitch.
You've betrayed us. A, it's my fault. B, and I'm not just gonna surrender and like sell out my homeboys.
Yeah.
So what he does is he starts his Sad Man's Parade attack with all of his clones, and it like cuts away, and we cut to Fat Gum, Tokoyami, and Sun Eater.
I think
Sun Eater.
That's right.
And
Sun Eater. His name's, oh my God, what's his name? Tamaki? Yeah,
Tamaki.
They're fighting.
They are fighting some villains. They're like, all right, we got to find all these like entrances to the all these exits, and block them off, pretty much like emergency exits for the villains.
Yeah.
And so Sun Eater, like, he does like this like cool like centaur like tentacle monster like attack, and then and then what does he say? He's like,
he says like a cool line. I forgot what he said.
And then Fat Gum's like, "Oh, that's cool.
It was cool," and he's like,
"Leave me alone.
Leave me alone."
Yeah, I love him so much. He's literally
his shyness.
Shyness.
And
they track down the pit where all the villains are located.
So Tokoyami goes in,
he
what's
smashes
that thing he
down.
said? Something in the darkness.
Yeah. Revelry
in the dark, and then he sends oh my God, what's this little guy called?
Dark Shadow,
and he like breaks the wall.
And he like goes in and sees like all the villains and where they're located. But then he comes back and he's like, "Don't go down there. There was something fucked up."
Yeah, and they're like, guy comes like, "It's fine," and he's like, "No, it's not."
And what he's talking about is Gigantomachia, who is currently sleeping because, as the reports say, he's not going to really move or do anything without the orders of the leader, which is either A, All for One, or B, Shigaraki. But before Dark Shadow points that out, as he's like going through the hallway, it's like a really cool like animated like tracking shot that's going through, and then shot. we see Redestro, and he like transforms into his like Venom stress quirk mode and like wrestles with Dark Shadow for a little bit, and his like legs, which have been replaced with robotic ones since the last season,
got cut off.
They just give in to the pressure of like Dark Shadow. And that's when Dark Shadow like retreats. He's like, "Yo, Tokiyami, there's something down there." And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a guy that's as strong as you." He's like, "That's not what I meant."
That's not what I meant, dude. That's not what I meant.
And then after that, Tokiyami meets back up with Fat Gum, and he gets inside of his like belly. He's like,
he's traveling inside.
He's a taxi.
Yeah, he's like sitting in there like he's like a kangaroo or something. And Tokiyami learns that Hawks is here, and he's like, "Oh, I love Hawks. That's my teacher."
Yeah, he taught me so much. I used his advice and applied it to myself. I wonder what he's doing right now.
I hope he lives so I can he can see me become cooler.
Yeah, better. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Meanwhile, we go back to Hawks, who is still fighting Twice. And
Twice has summoned all the doubles.
Yeah, he's summoning his doubles, and Hawks is like, "Okay, I've tried, reasoning. Killing might be the only option here." Yeah. And he like grabs one of his feather swords and he slices Twice in the chest. And he pins him down, and he's like, "I didn't want to do this, but I had to bring myself to do it." Poyo, what happens after that?
I was always like, "Why'd you point me out?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's because Dobby shows up. Yay, Dobby!
A pillar of blue fire shoots into the room. And what's interesting is that even though Hawks completely has the intention of ending Twice's life, he still like, I guess because he's a hero, instinctually grabs Twice out of the way from the fire. Right, because maybe he's thinking maybe I don't have to kill him. He's just really wounded. I'll bring him in, and But
I didn't want to resort to that, I guess.
Dobby comes in and he's like,
he like steps on Hawks' face, bro.
He steps on his face and like shatters his visor, which would hurt so much. And like glass would get in your eye. Whatever. And then Twice like gets up and he makes a couple of doubles and he's like running away. And then before that, I think Hawks is like, "Did you know I would betray you?" And then Dobby was like, "Fucking yeah, I never trusted you to begin with."
Of course. And he's like, "But I did all these things, like gain your trust."
And it cuts back to the flashback from season 4 of Hawks killing Best Jeanist?
He should be dead, I feel.
We did see his body in a body bag, but definitely a dead body was in there.
Yeah,
that's what Dobby thinks anyway. But he was like, "Oh yeah, you did all those things, sure, but I didn't trust you. But hey, you got rid of a hero for me, so that's
yeah,
nice.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Real cool."
So then the fight continues, and then Twice gets up, like holding his wound, creating a clone or two. And is running away.
Holds back Hawks for just a moment so Dobby can fucking annihilate him.
And Dobby is just like fire everywhere. And even Dobby is like, even Twice is like, "Dobby, I'm sorry, this is all my fault." And Dobby's like, "No, it's all right, man. It's not your fault. It's the hero's fault. They fucking ruin everything."
Anyway, everyone needs you, so like get out there and.
So get out there, champ. You're like, really, you by yourself could take out all the heroes. Yeah. And they like high five as he's like running out of the way,
Mm.
and then
Dobby does like one big blast that just like breaks the wall.
mhm,
But then
but Hawks is at the door. He managed to
he flew to
he
the
flew
side.
out of
Flew out.
the building, came back around, and then one final hit.
One final hit.
One final hit on Twice.
Yeah.
The shot just shows
so
Twice running
scary.
away, but
Mhm.
then as it pans up, you see Hawks right behind him with his feather.
Yeah, he's
about
like in
ready
the
to stab.
fire, and you only see like his eyes in the sword, and Twice is like, I gotta protect my friends, because he sees Mr. Compress and Toga
Mhm.
at the other
He
side of the room.
clones one last clone.
He clones himself for the last time, runs over and rescues Toga and Compress from a
Yeah.
hero by just repeatedly stabbing him.
Yeah.
It's kind of brutal.
There's blood.
It
It's
is,
like
yeah.
like they don't show the stabbing, of course, but like it's kind of.
Yeah.
And then Toga and Compress are like, all right, yeah, Twice, let's go, because they think he's the real one. And then he starts to melt. And he turns around and he's like, I'm sorry, you guys, I can't go anymore.
I fucked up. And
Yeah, I messed up again. Sorry.
And Toga has this look on her face like she's not sure what Twice is saying yet.
Mhm.
Twice walks over as he's like melting away, puts his he grabs the handkerchief that Toga gave him in season 4.
Yeah. Because the whole thing is that like she patched him up
Mhm.
beforehand, like before in like a previous season,
Made
like,
him whole
whole,
for
yeah,
that moment.
so he wouldn't split.
Yeah, and he's like, you can have this back. And they like embrace, and Toga's like, thank you for saving me from the
Mhm.
hero, right? And then as Twice is fading, he kind of like reflects, and he's like, no, I did have a good life. I made all my friends.
Mhm.
Hawks, you a bitch.
You bitch.
Yeah,
And
he
then
literally says, "Die." I want
You're
him dead.
I want you to die. Die,
Mm.
Hawks. And
He
then
won't believe his lies.
He melts away. And then we cut to back on the balcony.
With just blood dripping down.
Yeah,
With his head.
he's dead.
Twice's real body just bleeding
Just
out.
Lifeless.
Yeah.
Basically. The last of Twice's life is just it was that clone. And that's basically his last thoughts right there. Which is so fucking sad.
I remember
Yeah.
reading this week to week, and
Mhm.
it was sad then, it's sad now.
I remember when I was like reading this because I was catching up to the manga, and I was just like,
And
come on.
to of course, Studio Bones was like, I'm gonna make you get fucked up. So they changed the ending
with the good music.
Yeah, they changed the ending with Toga and Twice, where they're like having a good time, and then it just fades to Toga just like crying,
sobbing.
I was literally like, I don't want to watch the ending, bro. And they were like, you have to watch the ending. I'm like, why? And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was. I saw the screen caps on
Me
Twitter,
too.
and I was like, "Oh, they changed the ending. We gotta watch it all the way through."
Yeah,
bro. Imagine someone who hasn't seen this season just start watching this episode again. Why are you doing that? Stupid.
I'm gonna jump in on My Hero and start at season 6.
No.
And he better not be watching this. Our good friend Ethan. He's a big fan of Twice.
Why are you
and
calling
he
him out? He hasn't even seen the episode.
Yeah, well, but He has
Watches
luckily
this
not
and
been
he watches the
spoiled.
episode.
Imagine. He's luckily not been spoiled. I'm looking forward, but also not looking forward to hearing his reaction to this.
Oh yeah, because Twice is Ethan's
He's
favorite.
He likes that
favorite.
character.
He loves him.
Ethan likes like side characters, not characters who don't do anything. I think it's just like characters who kind of
Just-
fill in the
Yeah.
spaces, and
They're like
they're
fun
like
characters in the
they're just
background who
guys,
kind
and
of
they're
like
like, yeah,
We
they
call
help
them,
out.
We call
Okay.
them Ethan characters.
Yeah.
I
'Cause it's-
I
without fail, he will always like them.
I think
And without
Twice.
fail, they always die.
Yeah. So, I think Twice is a little more important than like just another.
Oh
side
no, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because he has like more stuff going on with him, especially with this. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
He's probably like the second or third most fleshed out league member. Like at this
Yeah.
point in the
Yeah.
story.
Definitely.
because like Mr. Compress is like whatever, like he's Mr. Compress.
Yeah.
At this in this point of the story, there's not really much going on with him, but like the rest of them have some stuff going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Twice also just has like his character gimmick where he has like two split personalities. So like he is more like he shines more with compared to the other
I do
villains.
like Twice. I do like Twice. He's good.
He like you just like him. He's just kind of like he's a friend to
He's
the
a buddy.
league.
Yeah. Literally the whole time with Hawks, he was like, "Yeah, man, you're my buddy. You're my
my buddy."
friend. I trust you." And Hawks
Yeah.
is like, "Haha." See, the thing
Yeah.
that sucks about this is that, like, because to be honest, it's like Hawks was just doing his job. Like, he was
Yeah.
literally just doing what he was assigned to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unfortunate that, yeah,
He had to
Hawks-
kill someone who
really
just
trusted him.
yeah, who was naive like that.
And what's this might be for a lot of people the big emotional moment of maybe this half of the season, but there is still so much more.
No, this isn't even scratching the surface. I feel like we're not there yet.
Not even to
We're starting.
not to downplay Twice, because obviously we love Twice.
This is bad, but just like there's just more to come. You know,
we are
there's more to come.
in the end game.
Yeah. It's
This is
war.
This is where the real shit starts.
it is where like my hero really does like change, because like my villain is kind of like the turning point, but then the war right now is just like where shit gets really like
this is where like
real.
a lot of the major shit happens and like the story like takes a turn. But like that's
So get ready.
Yeah, get ready for that. Yeah, good episode. Good episode.
Yeah.
It was a real good episode.
Animation was good too.
Real good. I think this episode was like the last two chapters of chapter 2 or 2 pages of 263 and then ended at the end of 266.
Yes.
Next week's episode is titled Inheritance, which is the name of chapter 2. Is it 2? Oh, I'm misremembering. I think it's 271. Oh, it's 270. So next episode we might get 4 chapters animated, or 3.5.
Oh,
some spliced in there.
But so and the preview, I get my Yuki Hayashi animated cut.
Nice.
So we're eating good. If you don't know who that is, main character designer on the show. He does all of the like assistant directing for like the openings and the movies, and for the movies he is the lead on like all of the finales.
Yeah, because the movies go crazy.
But
I like how like because it's not My Hero related, but I'm watching Chainsaw Man because that shit just came out, and I feel like I'm Seth, where I'm trying to like calculate what chapters they're gonna cover each episode, because like episode 1 just adapted chapter 1 because it's a long chapter, but like now I'm just like, okay, what chapters are you doing next week? 2
Yeah.
chapters because I'm doing
Yeah.
next week. They're gonna get to this.
That's how I was with My Hero season 5, where it's just like, because
Oh
like
yeah.
I began reading during like the first half, uh, and then I just like went by.
Mhm. I feel like with Attack on Titan too,
Oh yeah, Attack on Titan.
cause like is it season 4 part 2? Like the
Yeah.
recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a point where like I think it was just they were adapting less chapters because like they were only really they only did like 12 episodes.
Yeah,
So
the
like
season was slowing down, and we
yeah,
were
the
like,
pacing was slowing down. So we were like, what are they doing? And then we're like, oh, it's because they're just adapting like a chapter or two, which like it could make sense because Attack on Titan is longer chapters because
Yeah,
it's a
it does.
monthly manga or it was a
Yeah.
monthly manga, but like it was noticeable. So it was like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
I remember when the pacing for that season started to slow down because we were like, wait, how is it gonna end this?
Yeah,
In
like
like
it was
3
just like they're
episodes,
not gonna end the
Yeah.
entire show, and then it's like they're not gonna end the show yet. They're gonna do a part 3, which is coming out next year.
which is next, like
Next
1
year.
month. You know?
I
Yeah,
think
they didn't give a
it's
month
back
yet.
in. It's probably back in like February again or spring.
I'm gonna say springtime. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
springtime.
That's a good guess.
Yeah,
Most
But
likely.
manga.
Anyway, though,
any other thoughts on this episode?
I have just a couple.
Okay.
What's your thought process?
I think the episode is just a little drawn out in certain areas because there was, well, of course, My Hero. A lot of uh, fucking
Flashbacks?
flashbacks. Yes,
Yeah, that was my issue as well.
and I get it because it's there for like just to remind you, quickly, but also like to get you in the feels of
Yeah,
the
it's emotional
memories.
impact. I did feel like it was a little too much
A
sometimes.
little much. Also, I kind of wish the moment where Hawks is like ready to stab twice. I wish there's a bit of animation there because
Mm.
it feels just a little bit awkward to have like it just be a still image and then pan up slowly and there's Hawks. Because I feel like it would have been more impactful if they just went like a very quick animation. Just
Oh,
he
was it that
sudden,
one reason the fire? You're
yeah,
seeing the
where
fire.
like if he like suddenly appeared and then it just cuts and you're just like left there like, oh shit.
Like maybe you saw
Mhm.
his eyes open or something.
Yeah, like just a little animation, some sort. I feel like could have been more impactful.
I thought it was done.
It's fine. It's just
I
a
liked it too.
little. No, yeah, I liked it. It was just a little like
Like I
a
get what
little
you're saying,
nitpick. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I think it was fine for me because just the pan up and just
yeah,
like his fucking eye. I was just
nah,
like, that's scary
yeah.
as fuck.
It's chill. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool shot.
Mhm. Bones ruined another
Stupid
episode,
bones.
guys.
wow,
Yeah.
what a horrible episode! All the praise we just did is gone.
Mm-mm.
0
No,
out of 10.
it
Fuck
was a very
them.
good episode, though. Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
The emotions
Yeah,
hit twice as hard.
has
Yeah.
it been 3 episodes already?
Yep. 3
This is
episodes.
episode 3.
Yeah, you said it was the 3 episode rule. It's gonna be good. This
Yep.
season's gonna be good.
No. Yeah. I have
I'm not
faith.
gonna doubt. Yeah, this one's gonna be good.
It's gonna
My
be
worries
good.
are gone.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm on board. We got movie staff back on the show next episode.
Oh yeah.
We're getting maybe like 3 to 3.5 chapters per episode, which is like perfect for this arc because the chapters are
Perfect.
short.
Yeah, and it's a lot of
Yeah, it's mostly
action, so
fighting.
like, yeah, you can zoom by a lot of that.
This chapter has a higher this arc has a higher chapter count than Overhaul, but because the chapters are way shorter, I think Overhaul is still longer.
Mm.
Um,
Overhaul it wasn't like long, but like that lasted a little bit.
Overhaul was the longest arc in the series for a long
It was
time.
like most of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Depending next episode, depending how much they adapt, it's gonna be very interesting.
But yeah,
I think
I'm
this is the
waiting. I'm
this is
waiting
the
on the some
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's coming after that.
This was the first episode of the season that made our friends cry.
None of us cried.
I was pretty choked up. I was sad.
Oh,
No.
that's not crying though.
I know.
I don't really cry during stuff. I
Me
don't
neither.
know. I feel like
That's
you
because
really
you're a
have
heartless fuck. No, I'm just
to.
kidding.
Yeah. I feel like you really have to like hit me where it hurts.
Yeah.
Get me like something that's really gotta like appeal to my ethos. Is it ethos?
Yeah.
What is it? Pathos?
Something like that.
Some
Logos.
shit.
I don't know.
Logos. Logos is not. I think logos is. It's not anything related to that.
Hmm.
It's like logical. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't English class, guys.
Yeah, this is Anime Club.
Anime Club. This is Anime Club. Good episode. I
Rest
cannot
in
wait.
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Twice. He did not deserve that, but
No.
you know how it is.
You know how it is.
That's the thing. I can't. Not that I'm like, man, Hawks, you're bad for this. But like, I can't even be mad at him because I'm just like, you know.
Yeah. He
Right.
is a real threat.
Yeah.
He's very fucking strong with his power, but like, also like, man,
Man.
Twice though. He's such a
Twice.
cool guy.
Hawks is like a hero publicly, but he is a government secret agent
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So
He is there
he's
to
gotta get his
execute
hands-
missions and
Get your
get things
hands
done.
dirty.
Yeah.
Lots of heroes about to get their hands dirty soon.
Yeah.
Well, Faith in the Season, good episode. I think I'm running out of
Spirits are
things.
high.
I'm out. Yep.
I'm out of
Yeah.
things to say.
Good episode.
Dobby was very hot this episode. That's
He was on fire.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, he was on fire.
Yeah.
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 No.
This has been the UA Anime Club podcast. Thank you for listening. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, share with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when new UA anime episodes are coming out, as well as when other Figure 8 videos come out. And we'll see you next adventure.